The view is a bit more complicated than the model in this application. It's an object, as you can see by this open bracket right here, and it has two methods, init and render. We call init to get things set up, and we call render to update our view. Now, the HTML is also part of the view, so I've opened up index.html. You can see we have a button here and an unordered list for all of our pizzas. There's also this script template down here, which is just a fancy word for some HTML that we're going to use again and again when we make the pizza objects. Let's hop back into our app.js. First, let's go over our init function here. Now, for the moment, I'll ask you not to get too mired in the details. We're really looking at the overarching organization of the application, okay? So simplified and glossing over details, we're doing the following. First, we're adding an event listener for the button which runs the add pizza function. Then we're grabbing some things from the DOM and we're storing them to variables so that way we can use them in our next step. Then we're adding a click listener for the pizza list. And if we're clicking on a remove pizza button, we're running the function that figures out what we've clicked on and then ultimately calls the remove pizza function. And lastly, we're telling the view to render itself. So speaking of rendering itself, what does that render function actually do? In a nutshell, it clears the pizza list entirely and re-renders all the visible pizzas. Not very smart or optimized, but it works just fine. So, clearing the pizza list, and here, getting the visible pizzas from our octopus, which we'll talk about later, and for each one of those pizzas, doing the following. Filling in the template HTML with the pizza ID, and then adding it to the pizza list in the DOM. So this view here is not particularly smart, but it is separated out, and that's what's most important. All of our view logic is in one place rather than scattered throughout our entire application. We'll see the ramifications of this in the next node.